When you need a mortgage, don't stress at all. Just tune right in and give these guys.
Good morning, YouTube. Today is Friday, June 19th. And fellas, I am sick. I got World Cup fever. We had to cancel the show on Tuesday because I lost my voice cheering too much all weekend. I'm not really a soccer guy, but Tommy got me into it. There's 3 games every day. What a wild time to be alive.
Oh, this is a great time to be alive, especially today. Everybody's off work on Juneteenth, and we got Team USA. So what more could you ask for? We know we all wanted that primetime PM game, but at least they gave us a 3 p.m.er on a national holiday now. So everybody will be able to get to watch that, and we'll be able to get it done. Hopefully USA takes on the crap out of them.
Anth is going to have to cut the beach day short to get back to the TV for 3 o'clock today because, Anthony, big game in Seattle against Australia.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what? YouTube TV, you can watch that thing anywhere. So I can still be at the beach and just have the phone up and rocking and rolling.
Hey, guys, Anthony's going to have a generator, Starlink, and his phone at the beach today. So sounds like he is operational.
He has it in his little man purse. He's all ready to go.
I'm ready. You like that man purse? That's my
man purse.
That's my satchel.
I like that.
But yeah, loving it. Loving to see the country. Loving to see the Europeans enjoying our food and our gas stations and our cities. It really is highlighting the country in a positive manner. And we got good news, I think, with the war. We got summer popping off, weather being great. So great time to get your pre-approval going and get into that home. But one of the main questions we're getting this summer is about an appraisal, because we got some of these buyers getting off the fence and coming back into the game. They're used to always needing an appraisal when you get a home. Now, a lot of buyers still do need an appraisal, Tom, but there is something out there called an appraisal waiver that you may not need an appraisal when you get a home anymore.
Yeah, and that appraisal waiver, we can determine that on our end when we run this through automated underwriting. There are certain stipulations to getting that. They just rolled out in the last year. You could do it as a 10% down, where before that you need to at least have 20% down. So that's opened up a little bit more of an avenue, I would say, for these appraisal waivers to come into play. It does not mean that if you're putting 10% down on a home, though, you're going to get an appraisal waiver. It's all run through an automated underwriting system, and that determines if there has been an appraisal on that home, usually within the last 10 to 12 years, and make sure that they have the data on it and comp. So yeah, that's a great feature now that some of these are starting to come in at 10% down. It's not always needed, but a lot of times it still is.
And that is a huge advantage if you're doing the Anthony dubbed pre-offer huddle. Because like Tom said, if we have proper information, now this is only for conventional loans, and it, like Tom just said, you need at least 20% down. But Anth, if we have the buyer pre-approved, we have the address, we have the purchase price, there's a potential that we could let you know as a buyer's agent if we're going to need an appraisal done or not.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say it anymore. You know, it matters who you work with. You know, because there's a lot of companies and loan officers that don't run the systems up front, which is why people have issues in the middle and at the end. But, you know, working with a solid team who's going to run that in advance, it helps the buyer, it helps the agent, it helps the offer. And if we get an appraisal waiver on that specific property, you know, that can open up the offer to be much better than competition. So ultimately, everybody wants the ease of process. And no appraisal worries is one of those things that everybody is worried about in the middle of the process. So having that waived in the beginning, if it's possible, is going to make all the difference.
Now, remember, guys, Tom, Ryan, and Anthony are not picking and choosing who needs an appraisal and who doesn't need an appraisal. It is all based off of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's automated underwriting systems. They've been preparing for this. They've been building a database for years and years and years and years. And a lot of the time, the borrower matters, but the property matters just as much. If there's information on that property in their system, much more likelier chance you're going to get an appraisal waiver. But we don't know until we run it through. And Tom, if a price changes, if down payment changes during negotiations, there is a chance, it's an imperfect system, you can lose that appraisal waiver if the terms change.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen in the past. Fortunately, not on one of my files, on somebody else's, where they had to change the down payment. They ended up not getting a big enough gift from their parents, and at that point, it dropped a little bit below the 20. And this one, it was to 15, and unfortunately, they had to order appraisal and get a rush, and closing was only going to be a week later. So it can happen. Those changes can trigger different effects on these appraisal waivers. So it's always important to know that, when you're buying, especially a real estate agent, to understand that if we come back to you and say, now we need an appraisal, don't throw your hands up, say, okay, let's try to get it done as fast as we can.
Enlisting agents, I wish there was a way we could run your property through to see if you had a specific buyer, would you get an appraisal waiver? But that's not how the system works. It's specific buyer linked up with their credit score, their debt to income ratio, their down payment with the property. The only way to get it done, have a proper pre-approval, have a proper address and a proper offer ready. Call us for the Anthony pre-offer huddle, and we can help build and structure that offer. Too many times we're getting the call after the fact that we're having trouble getting the offer accepted. Is there anything we can do? Well, sometimes we could have done things up front that does make you put yourself in a stronger situation. So please, please, please make us part of your offer process. And if you're working with a loan officer that isn't part of your offer process, you got 3 good ones right here to help you out.
Yeah, I think that Anthony's pre-offer huddle was excellent. I'm hearing agents talk to me and they're saying, hey, can we do Anthony's pre-offer huddle? I was like, it's Tom's too. Like, you can do Tom's pre-offer huddle. Like, you don't do Anthony's. So yeah, it's I don't
know, Tom. You got to be careful about that little TM, that little trademark. He's sneaky like that. He might be putting that out there. So
no, he didn't file a DBA, nothing like that.
But yeah, guys, we are here to help. We are excited for this weekend. Get excited for country. Get excited for your team. And this could be a turning point in America for soccer. So I'm here for
a lot of people. It's funny watching these videos, and they're going into, they're not going to New York and LA and like all these places that you see on the world news. They're going to Kansas City and these small towns in Alabama. And, this is real America. They're getting a picture of real America and real American people, and not sugar coated by your funneled news.
Greatest place on earth for a reason. So God bless America. God bless all of us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
See you guys.
Tom, Ryan, and Anthony.